Hey everyone, now we are going to start the microservices deployment pattern. So before actually looking into the deployment patterns, there are two key terms that we should understand. And those key terms are VM and container. So we should understand these one by one and also understood the differences between them. So let me go ahead and explain you what are these all about. So first we are going to look at the VM because when I say that VM and container, so VM came first into the market and then we have container. So let's see the VM. So VM stands for virtual machine, and it is a way to virtualize the hardware. So it is an important key term to run the multiple OS instances. So if I talk about, if you have one computer system which have only single hardware to support one operating system, so VM is something which is a virtualization of those hardware that you have. So there are softwares which provide this facility. These are designed by running software on top of physical servers to emulate a particular hardware system. So what is this physical server all about, which is helping us to emulate a particular hardware system? So let's see that. So hypervisor a very important key term to understand here. Hypervisor is something which creates and runs all the virtual machines. It Hypervisor allows one host operating system to support multiple guest VMs by virtually sharing its resources such as processing power and memory. So when I am saying virtualizing the hardware, so it means, so what are the things under hardware? Main thing, we have processing power and memory. So hypervisor is something which enables sharing of these memory and processing power, so which can further help us to run the multiple operating system in a single hardware system. So in a way we can say that it's a virtual machine monitor. Hypervisor is something which monitors the virtual machines as well, and hypervisor is something which sits between VM and host OS. So if it is your computer system here and if it is VM here, so hypervisor is something which is at this point. So hypervisor is providing a facility to share the resources of the computer system that we have here, which further VMs can use. We can have more than one VM on a single computer system based on the power and efficiency that you have in your computer system. For example, if I talk about, if you have 8 GB of RAM in your computer system, you can have 2 GB, 2 GB, three systems in your system, and other memory is going to be used by the host operating system managing other things. So it depends what memory, what RAM, and what hard disk sharing you need for your virtual machine, and also proportionately what you have in your hardware, so that hypervisor can enable that to share between the virtual machine. Within each virtual machine runs a unique guest operating system. So host machine OS doesn't have to be same as guest VMs. For example, if I talk about that, if you have Windows operating system running, then you can create a VM which can run the Unix operating system, and vice versa is also true. If you have a system which is running Unix operating system, you can create a VM which can run Windows as well. So that's perfectly fine. So that's the main funda behind of VMs, right? So we can have multiple instances on a single shared hardware system. And each VM, if I talk about the size of the VM, so each VM may be gigabytes in size. So there are certain drawbacks and challenges with virtual machines as well when it comes to using those one and developing the software with the virtual machines. So let's analyze that one by one. So first comes there, so each VM includes a separate operating system image. You have to install that operating system, then it has to contain the image, which adds overhead in memory and storage footprint, because that has to be shared and something is going to be stored and going to be used by the operating system image as well. So there are lots of space which are being going to be used just to run these operating system, because the main purpose that we are going to solve is running the application software on the different VMs. But the challenge is that memory and storage footprint that we are going to get, and all these challenges adds further complexity to all stages of a SDLC. When we are going to dev to test, when we are going to test to prod, and further in maintenance mode. It limits the portability of application between public cloud, private cloud, and any traditional data center. So because it is very heavy in size and it is something which is just sharing the hardware system and porting that hardware configuration, all those things, it's like a bit difficult and seems impossible. So that's all about the virtual machine. So how to also, is there something which can solve these challenges and give us a efficient way to run the application softwares that we can run? So yes, it is there. So containers are there to rescue us in these situations. So what are these containers? These containers are a way to virtualize operating system so that multiple workload can run on a single instance of operating system. Now differentiate the things from here. VM was virtualization of hardware, but this container is something which is virtualizing the operating system only. Containers sit on top of physical server and its host operating system, Linux or Windows. So it is on top of Linux or Windows operating system that you have in your system. So it is not, it is nothing that you have Windows operating system, you have to run another operating system, but it's just to run application software which is packaged in the container. Each container shares the host kernel and usually the binaries and libraries too. But at last, it is the thing that it is sharing that hardware thing that you have, processing power and memory thing. But the components that it is sharing, they are read only. These containers cannot do any changes to that one. But with VM, it was virtualization of the hardware, and VM was having its own operating system and memory and all those things. Containers are very light. Usually they go in MBs in size, megabytes in size. If I talk about the comparison between the VMs, which was gigabytes in size, it is very quick to start, and because of these, it is very easy to port from one system to another. And by having all these qualities, MBs and low size and very quick to start, easily portable, that is why it is very less overhead when it comes to managing these containers. Its speed, final concluding point, its speed, agility, and portability make them yet another tool to help streamline software development. So it is helping a lot in addition to the VMs that are helping us a lot. So if I talk about the real-time example of the virtual machines that we have, so if you are working in a company, there are chances that you are working on the virtual machine, because the company that we are working on, so there are computer systems provided that we just have to connect to virtual machines and work on those ones. So these virtual machines are configured from a very big hardware that they have, that the company has. So the what advantage company getting out of this? They get more control over the systems that are being used from the company itself. They can monitor that properly, uh, in compare to the way that we have separate hardware operating system given to the each individual. If they are providing us a facility to share a VM on a computer system, so that configuration, that individual computer systems that we have, it can be very less, but the virtual machine that we have, that configuration, all those things that can be changed easily and can be managed very easy. So nowadays there is a trend to work on the cloud and work on the VM base. It's not that all the companies are following, but most of them are following this one, that they are providing VM for its employees to work on. This image is going to make things very clear here, so let's understand the difference. So this is machine virtualization, which is which is explaining the VM, and this is the container, which is explaining the containers. So here it is the infrastructure part, which is same. In VM, hypervisor comes into picture on top of the hardware. Then hypervisor helps us to run the multiple operating system on a single hardware shared resources on top of each guest OS, and each guest OS is a single VM. Here we can have its own bins, libraries, whatever it needs, and we can have its own application that can be run. Now this VM, it's a single computer system in itself, right? And if I compare it with the container here, so we have infrastructure, and then we have operating system here, then we have container engine, to manage the containers. Then we have application and binary libraries and this thing, right? So now you can understand the difference between VM and containers. So that's all that I wanted to explain about container and VMs. If you want to know more about these, so these are the links that you can go ahead and check out these in more details and more detail about these one. So what next that we are going to look into? So we are going to start with the first deployment patterns about microservices, which is about the service instance per host and multiple service instances per host. I'm going to explain that in the next video. Want to see all other topics under this architecture series? This is the link that you should check out. So I'll see you in the next video with this topic. Till then, take care, stay safe. Bye bye.